Hey guys, it's Steve Quillian. I'm in the shop behind the museum at Wood Window Makeover, our Wood Window Museum. You got to come and see us sometime. And in the background here, I have a dedicated tenoning station that I'll show you in just a little bit. Okay, I'm going to talk for a little bit though about how it arose. Okay, why I even have a dedicated setup, right? Because anybody who starts in woodworking gets the bell. You know, they get a table saw. And this table saw here is a monster. It's got a 3 horsepower motor, but this is my general use table saw. You know, it's got the blade in there and stuff like that, the push stick. And what happens when somebody has a table saw like this one, what they'll do if they need to make a tenon the way that I make them is they take this, you know, take the blade out and then they'll set it up with a Dado Blade or some other kind of setup like that, and then they'll have to dial it in and make it work, right? And then once they're finished with their operation of making their tenons, then they have to put this other blade back on. Well, that's kind of tough, right? So I started a long time ago making, you know, dedicated tenoning saws like this. And so my tenoning saw, this is a DeWalt. I love the DeWalt saw. And probably the main reason I love it so much, it's a smooth saw. It's got a very strong motor in it, but it's got this fence here. This is a rack and pinion fence that is it's come standard on these DeWalt saws, and the rack and pinion works like this. There's a little switch down here. See if I can pull it up. There's that switch, and then you do this knob here, and there's a gear that moves that fence back and forth. And see, that gear is on this side and on that side, so the fence stays parallel to the blade the whole entire time. Okay, and it stays locked in. So for example, I've got a line here that's where I make most of my tenons, that length right there. Okay, I'll lock it down, and yeah, I'll take my sled here, and I will, you know, I'll push the piece of wood through over the Dado Blade. Oh, the Dado Blade. Okay, let's look at that for a second. Okay, I'm gonna adjust my tripod here. Again, I'm filming by myself, so typical Dado Blade assembly right there. Okay, see all those teeth there? This Dado Blade is set up to 7/8. Okay, 7/8 of an inch wide, so that I can get a wide a cut on it as possible. Because you know, if you're making a tenon, you know, like this is a tenon I just made on there. I can make that tenon there in 2 passes. Isn't that nice? Okay, but this is not my only one. I'll show you a couple of the other ones I've got, and then I'll give you a quick demonstration. How's that? All right, so I'm going to take you back there a little bit. I got another tenoning set up over here. Oh, check out this station. This is another DeWalt tenoning station right there. Okay, but this one is for something different. This one is for a different thickness. Okay, this one is for storm window thickness, right? And the storm windows, you know, typically 3/4, 13, 16, 7/8. You know, it's set up at a different height, right? Oh, different height? Yeah, because look, you know, here's the Dado Blade here. Again, this is set up shallower, right? Because the you know, the cut, you know, since the piece isn't as thick, you know, the cut doesn't have to be as deep, right? So this is my second one here, and I'll show you some other ones in a minute, because you might be wondering what all these other table saws are for. But then I've got still another one right here. Okay, and this one is for like 1 3/4 material. Okay, so I'll go ahead and give you a quick demonstration, okay, so that you can see how this works. If you got any questions, let me know, okay? I'll be glad to answer them, okay? Let me set my saw or my camera down here. It's going to be loud. Adjust it here, okay? There. Give me a second to get over there. We've got a vacuum hooked up to it. Hit that. Turn it on. I'm going to make sure I don't have anything on the table here because I want this to sit down flat on the table. Take it to the blade. Boom. Isn't that nice? Okay. What do you think of that? Okay. That was really, really quick and easy. Okay. You know, and so then once the tenon is like that, you know, then I'll fast forward you to my another setup here. This is one of my window making setups here. This is what? This is my dedicated coping setup for this thickness, okay? I'm gonna hit this real quick. See, that's my cope right there. And then take this over here. I'm gonna turn my vacuum on. Hold on, give me a second. There you go. Push all my chips into the vacuum. See, isn't that nice? Okay, now take it to the other side. All right. Okay, so that's the beauty of having a dedicated setup, right? Is, you know, I've got my dedicated tenoner over there. I've got my dedicated router table right there. So I can just go from there to there without any adjustments. And I'll show you my other table saws real quick, okay? My other tenoning setups. Come back to over here, and one of the things I'm working on is the vacuum. So I've got this vacuum that's supposed to be hooked up to the back here, but it always comes out, right? It's just the wrong size hose. Anyway, so this is this very, very similar setup. there's that, right? So I've got that set up at one size, but look, then I've got this other guy set up here. Let me move this junk out of the way. See? And what the second table saw did is it offset it. So I have this as an offset tenon now. So the fence is at a different setting that allowed me to do this, which is really, really cool. Okay? So then I've got here's another dedicated table saw here that's set up to make a groove. I'll just do this real quick. See, isn't that nice? You can make shaker style cabinet doors that way really, really fast. Okay? So that, screen frames, storm window frames, it's really, really cool. Okay? Then take you back over to my first one I showed you real quick. And let's see. I'm going to go ahead and let's see. I'll grab a piece of scrap off of the table saw here. I think this is the right thickness. Okay, and I'll put it on the tenoner right here. Okay. Yeah, so that is my dedicated tenoning setup. So anyway, I hope you can see the beauty in that. All right, that's, you know, the dedicated setups, they are so good to have because they basically set you free to be able to do the work you want, you know, and without having to worry about, well, it gives you the freedom to make a mistake, you know, because you know what you do when you're working with wood, you make mistakes, and that's basically how you learn. Is you go through, you know, the motions, you get all your pieces ready, you start running them through the milling sequence, and then you mill a piece backwards. You know, have you ever done that? I have, and so it's really, really nice to not have to break down your one table saw and, you know, to set it back up to the general purpose ripping tool, and then set it back up again to put your Dado Blade back on, dial it all in, all that kind of stuff. That's just, you know, it's just such a time saver. And the time that you save in your dedicated setup, you know, it pays for itself. It pays for the saw. You know what I'm saying? So like, if this DeWalt saw here cost $500, right? You can probably find it for $500, $600. Okay, if that saw cost $500, okay, I mean, how much in lost time, you know, do you sacrifice not having that saw? You know, by having that saw, I make way more money than I would if I had to change it over. You know what I'm saying? Now, the last thing I wanted to show you, and I hope the reception stays with me, is, okay, I mentioned that fence, okay, on the saw. Over here, I've got a general purpose saw. It's a really good saw for general purpose. It's a Bosch, okay, and this is my Bosch saw. The difference between the DeWalt and the Bosch here for a dedicated setup is in the fence, okay? Because look, see see how the far end is not connected, okay? So you have a chance, a lot higher chance of this fence not getting locked in the proper setting than the DeWalt does, okay? Now, if you're just general ripping, you know, getting your stuff to width and stuff like that, This saw is, you know, it's really good and really, really awesome, but you know, I don't like the fence, and so the fence on the, you know, on the DeWalt saws, you know, the ones over there, is really superior. So anyway, that's all I got for you now. I'm going to connect this video to a blog post about it, and you know, if you watch this video, it basically says everything in the blog post. So hope that you guys got a lot out of this, and I'm looking forward to explaining a lot of my other setups in the future. I don't have a whole lot of them because I try to consolidate them into one, but I've got like my sash profiling setup that I introduced you to just really quick over there. I'd love to talk some more about that. But you know, like and subscribe and give us a thumbs up and all that other good stuff, okay? Steve Quillian for Wood Window Makeover at the Wood Window Museum in Tampa. Over and out. Love you guys. Bye.